gentlemen, welcome to Field of 68's last call.
What's your go-to Applebee's order?
I don't go to Applebee's. We actually call it Crapplebee's, to be honest.
Who's the better team right now, Creighton, Marquette, or UConn?
Con.
What are you doing? What is that? Pray for Fanta. Oh, come on, Jack. Here we go. It's last call. We are live here on the last call with the Field of 68 After Dark live on Stadium. We got Randolph Childress, Jarrell McNeil. My name is Greg Waddell, and it's been a great show today. We previewed all the biggest games of the weekend. We talked to some of our biggest sleepers for the NCAA tournament. And now it's time to take your questions. So for the next 30 minutes, anything you got, throw it at us. We will be ready. But let's start with some toasts. Gentlemen, it's a thirsty Thursday. Direct preparation for your Sunday endeavors. Why don't you lead us off with a toast tonight?
Yep, I'm going tonight. I got the Oregon Ducks. They got another win in the Pac-12. Coming on strong in the second half against Arizona State and kind of blew the game open. They ended up winning close to 20 points. They're right in the thick of things. They're right up there at the top of the conference. They'll be an interesting team to keep an eye on for the rest of the way.
Cheers. I love it. RC.
Hey, Dagan, you there? Isn't today your birthday?
Hey.
So technically, we missed it, but toasted to the producer. Nuts hanging.
Hey,
Dagan.
happy B-Day, Dagan.
Happy birthday, brother. It's to you.
Happy birthday, Dagan. I have personally seen, as has RC in the past, Dagan is the heartbeat that makes the Field of 68 go. It's impressive as hell when you watch this man live behind the scenes at some of the live events that we've done at the Final Fours. Just a machine. Dagan, cheers to you. You deserve it, my friend. Thanks for all that you do for this wonderful network that we all love so much. I am going to go to the women's game, gentlemen. I thought the game of the night tonight was South Carolina LSU. Just a really, really high-level basketball game. I mean, back and forth. LSU jumped on them early. Honestly, you could toast to everybody involved in it, but I will give the toast to Dawn Staley, who has built South Carolina into just a powerhouse. I mean, the stats they brought up on this program, how many consecutive games this team has won. I think it was like in the 20s, how many times they've beaten LSU in a row right now. It's insane. And I thought LSU played about their A-plus game other than foul trouble late. And South Carolina, even though they struggled with some shots early in the game, just survived it and picks up a huge road win. Credit to Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks. Congratulations.
Night.
All right,
Man,
to the chat. It was a great game, man. It was great. And honestly, that would have been a great game any given day. It was kind of nice that happened on a quiet slate so that a lot of people tuned into that. I thought that was really good for the sport. Let's go to some questions from the chat. We'll start with Jacob P., who says, which top 10 team are you most worried about right now? RC, who are you most worried about?
Oh, Arizona. I worry in the sense of they got a stretcher out, only because I think that they belong, I think, in that conversation when we talk about Purdue and Houston. And I think we had most of the year, they were right there with those teams in UConn. And now, if you notice, everyone isn't talking like that. So this road trip, they've had some road struggles. And they're coming up now. I think they got Oregon State tonight. Then they got Oregon after that. We're going to learn a lot about this team. Are they elite or are they just good? And I think we're going to find that out here pretty soon. One thing we always talk about that we forget about with teams, and why I say this too, is earlier in the year, teams that took those summer trips came out the gates playing really, really strong. I also think some of those teams are beginning to fatigue, right? Because they've been playing, we take for granted they've been playing for the summer. So I think we're going to see if I'm worried about them right now, but I think they'll recover. I'm hoping they get back to being that team that we saw go into Cameron and win in week 2 and play some great basketball, and they hadn't gotten back to that yet.
Good shout. RC. I too have some concerns with Arizona, and when I heard you say their name immediately, I thought, "Oh, are they on the road losing again? Is that what's happening right now?" No, they're up 8 at halftime for the record.
Yeah.
Comfortable margin at least through 20 minutes. We'll see. Jarrell, who are you most concerned about?
I think it's got to be Memphis. They were a team that sort of seemed like they were on the right path with the older team. All the guys had settled in and they kind of knew who they were early on, but they got back-to-back losses, kind of disturbing losses as well too. The way that they lost the USF game, and then the tough one against Tulane as well. So I think those guys are it's kind of a gut check time for them. They need to kind of figure it out. A lot of these teams shouldn't be playing them as close as they are anyway. And they kind of got to right the ship before they get into the thick of things with conference tournaments and Selection Sunday around the corner.
Good shout. I had to pull up the AP top 10 here just to make sure I'm on the right page, and I actually really don't have many concerns with these 10 teams. If I'm forced to pick one, I'm going to go Auburn, who impressed me on the road against Alabama, to be honest. But you step back broadly and you realize Auburn has one win against a team projected in the NCAA tournament field right now. That's a win against the 12-7 Texas A&M team that's not safely in the tournament field right now. It's not necessarily their fault that that's the schedule they've played. Their only opportunity was Baylor on opening night, and that was a competitive game that they lost. But Aiden Holloway has really struggled compared to how he played in the first couple weeks of the season, and I don't think Auburn's ceiling, or I just don't think they're going to play to their ceiling unless Holloway gets some things on track. So I'll go Auburn begrudgingly for now, but I think the top 10 is pretty safe, Jacob. Next question here from Jimmy D. He says, is Kyle Neptune on the hot seat? Jarrell, is he on the hot seat?
No, I don't think he's on a hot seat yet. But look, if if the wheels keep coming off here the way they have been, it seems like the last couple of weeks, it can heat up. It can definitely heat up. And obviously they've had a lot of critics and people that's kind of been down on him. They win a couple games and they get it rolling and it's okay, he's good. And then as soon as they start dropping a couple, it's like, man, this dude is not the guy. Let's get him out of here. So the fan base has kind of been hot and cold with him anyway. I don't think he's on a hot seat right now. Like I said, there's still a lot of basketball left. They're not in a position where, they can have a good week and be right back firmly in the tournament. Just with the amount of quality wins that are going to be out there in the Big East Conference throughout the course of a year. So I think hopefully they'll get it turned around and he'll be fine. But right now, I wouldn't say the seat is hot, but it's definitely starting to warm up a little bit.
RC, you agree?
No, yeah, I don't think it's hot. One thing I think they have in their advantage is it looks like it's UConn and everybody else, and they're just in that pile with everybody else. So say what you want, they're one game from second place. So as crazy as it sounds, they've dropped 3 games and they're one game from second place. So do you like the way they are? Is one thing. I think, say again. I think it's my only concern with them is just he's following a legend, and no different than what happened with, we talked about Hubert in Carolina. He followed him, had a great year. Then last year was a disappointment, and then everybody was questioning whether he was that guy. And then look at him now. So he's following one of the best in the business, one of the best to ever do it, and you got to give him some time.
Yeah, I think he's completely off the hot seat the moment they make an NCAA tournament. If God forbid this falls even further where they miss it, then I think we've got a sizzling seat going into next season. We'll do one more. We got less than a minute left before break. Purdue versus North Carolina in the Final Four. Who you got? This is from Bruce. RC, what's your answer?
Ooh. Damn, that's a good one. Whoever asked that question, Bruce, that's a hell of a question right there. God, that's a tough one because I think you got the best guard in the country going against the best big in the country. I think I'll say this. I think Armando Bacot could give Zach Edey more resistance than any of the guards for Purdue could give R.J. Davis resistance. So in drop coverage, I like R.J. Davis all day long because his mid range is legit. At the level he's playing right now, I would not want that matchup for Purdue. Not right now. Not the way Carolina's playing.
You nailed that. That's the right read. Jarrell, you agree?
I'm 100% on board. And it just comes down to that exactly. Edie inside is gonna dominate, but man, with R.J. Davis with that ball in his hand up top, just pulling Edie out of the paint or trying to pull him out of the paint with those high ball screens and just getting to that dribble pull up is potentially be a very long night. And they would probably put Purdue in a situation where they would have to try to make some adjustments that they're not ready to make just yet. So I would like Carolina in that game. That is a tough question though. That would be a hell of a game too.
Yeah, it's one of the fun things to think about, 1 seed versus 1 seed. There's going to be problematic matchups for both, but I agree UNC is the right answer. All right, we'll take more questions coming up after the break here on the last call with the Field of 68. Welcome back. It's the last call here live on the Field of 68, live on Stadium. Jarrell McNeil is in the house. Randolph Childress is in the house. My name is Greg Waddell. We're taking your questions for the next 20 minutes or so. The last question that we just got had these boys in a mental tizzy. We'll see if you can do that again, chat. I'm putting you up to the challenge. This one comes from Hot Balls, beloved commenter Hot Balls. For Randolph, why are you ducking me on Sunday?
What did he say? He said, I'm not listen, you already know I ain't ducking you. You already know. Don't you start with me. I told you. I done already gave your Huskies some love. I said they was the best team in the country right now. So I don't want to hear nothing from you. Don't you start with me because you know you ducking me. I tell you what, y'all just get to Phoenix and then we'll redo this. Matter of fact, I'm going to be at the Big East tournament. You just make sure I can find you at the Big East tournament. We're going to put all this conversation to rest.
Wow. Okay, the gauntlet has been laid down. RC and Hot Balls. Simple as that. Yeah, you guys might have a running for the best rivalry in the Field of 68 network right now, RC.
Hey, it's gonna be pay-per-view come Phoenix or the Big East tournament, whichever one I run into them at. We just gonna have to do it right there.
Just pray. Can we somehow set up like a 10 seed? No, I have to be like a 9
bets. We're gonna open it. Hey, listen, we're gonna open it up for bets and everything. I want odds and everything. We're gonna open it up.
I want Wake Forest as a 9 seed against UConn as a 1 seed in the round of 32. That's what I want.
That would be good.
And would it though? Are we sure? Are we sure it'd be good? I don't know.
Hey, if we make 18 threes, I need my guys making shots.
Yeah, you're right. It could happen. Great shooting team. All right, from Michael H. He says, does Eric Musselman get his walking papers after the season? A lot of are these coaches getting fired tonight, gentlemen? This is just getting spicy. Jarrell, is Eric Musselman on the hot seat right now?
No, I don't think he's on a hot seat at all. Just with the track record of what he's done with the program over the last couple of years. But while saying that at the same time, I agree and I understand the fan base kind of dismayed with this because it's been a really a huge letdown of a year. I think it's been a huge letdown of a year. Traditionally they start off slow, but he has been getting them to the tournament. And they've been competitive in the SEC pretty much since he's arrived. So I think he'll get some more time. But right now, this definitely isn't a good year for them.
Hell no. Walking papers? Muss?
That's crazy.
Man, cut it out. If Muss is in trouble, who's safe? Hurley? Hurley, the only coach in the country safe then. If you got Muss's resume and he getting walking papers at the end of this year, cut it out, man. Cut that out. We're not doing that. Cut that out.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm glad RC got there before I had to get there. Good reminder here for those at home. Really great coaches have really bad years. That happens. That has happened with like every elite coach in this sport. Go up and down the list. You can find a year where they really struggled and did something wrong. Messed up in the portal. It is what it is. Next year's a new year. He's going to do it again. He probably won't mess up in the future. Crazy question. From Ryan F. Does Gonzaga need a win in the WCC to get into the tournament? So do they need to win the WCC to get a bid? RC, yes or no?
Ooh, I'm gonna say no, but it's a hell of a lot closer than it needs to be, because I don't know. They don't have many, good wins outside of the conference, and they better finish at. Oh man. I just don't see Selection Sunday with the landscape of college basketball right now, with so much uncertainty with everybody else. I can't say Gonzaga's not going to make it. Not right now. I'm not ready to, because there's just like we sitting there talking about the Big East, and it's UConn, and it seems like it's everybody else. ACC, it seems like it's Carolina, and then everybody else kind of jumbled up. In Purdue in the Big Ten, like it seems to be Arizona back. So it seems like there's a dominant team in each conference, and then it's like a bunch of other teams in the middle trying to figure it out as well. So, but I understand the question. That's a fair question, because this team there's no signature wins. This is not the Gonzaga team that we've seen the past couple of years, and I'd say they're still going to get in, but I'm not. I wouldn't put my money on it.
Every night's not easy too. That's the thing. These are the nights. Thursday night at 9 p.m. is the night that in the past it's been like, oh yeah, Coast 20-point victory. Wait till the St. Mary's game. Like they had to grind out a home victory over San Francisco tonight. There's a lot of teams like that in WCC this year. They're gonna have to do that with. Sorry to jump in on you, Jarrell, but on the fielding the 68 Bracketology show on Monday, I asked this exact question, and the guys told me there's a really good chance they might. So obviously a lot can change, and that's the bracketologist's biggest thing is like you got to let the games play out, but they are seriously in danger of this being the problem. Jarrell, any other thoughts on this? You think they got to win it?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think they have to win it. I think they're going to be a team that gets in. I'm pretty confident in that, and obviously it'll go a long way. Like if they somehow beat Kentucky, they'll get in.
That's their big thing, I think, though, right? Like that's the Kentucky game matters. So if they don't win that
huge.
Kentucky game, if they don't win a Kentucky game and they don't finish in the top 2, I think you got some concerns. Like even the San Fran game is so big, and they're only one game ahead of them. Like if they finish 4th in the West Coast,
they're in trouble. Yeah, they're in trouble. Yeah, they're in trouble.
So I've seen nothing to suggest that they can beat Kentucky. That's why I say it's tough.
Yeah, that's a big opportunity. I'm going off script, and we'll get more questions after this. Who do you trust more to make the tournament, St. Mary's or Gonzaga? Give me a one-word answer. Jarrell, who you got?
St. Mary's right now. St. Mary's.
RC?
Yeah. St. Mary's.
I think that's the right answer, too. I just wanted to see if I could bait you guys into Gonzaga. You guys are too good, man. I got to know that. I got to know the scouting report. You guys are the best. All right, we've got some fun questions. I'm looking at our chat doc right now. You're not going to want to miss the next 10 minutes here. Our last call, Field of 68 after dark. All right, we're here. It's the final 10 minutes of last call on the Field of 68 after dark live on Stadium. Throw your wildest questions at us. We'll get them in before the end of the show. Randolph Childress and Jarrell McNeil are with me. I'm Greg Waddell. We got a question here from Ollie W., who says, who gets more bids in the NCAA tournament, the Big 12 Conference or the ACC and the Pac-12 conferences combined? Got to do a little mental math on this one. Jarrell, I'm going to throw that to you. Who do you think's the answer?
That's actually a pretty. I mean, because the Pac-12 is getting what, two at the most, 3 maybe.
I think the absolute max I think would be 3 based on the bracketology guide. But
I would say,
yeah, two right now. According to our Fielding the 68 consensus bracket, we've got 2 teams from the Pac-12 in right now.
The ACC,
I think with the
it'll be set. The Big 12 won't get more bids than both of them combined. I don't know. That'd be what?
As of now, they are, right?
7 or 8 teams to get in from the Big 12.
I believe so. I believe from the Fielding the 68 show, I think we had 8 teams from the Big 12 in on Monday. There was a 9th that was like last 4 in. So they've got 9 teams in contention with a couple close. Pac-12 looking at 2 right now. That leaves the ACC in a tough spot, RC, needing 6 teams to match.
Right now, but no, not with the metrics. Right now, Texas Tech's in, Houston's in, Kansas is in, Iowa State's in, Baylor's in, Oklahoma's in, Texas is in. Yeah. I mean, BYU is in.
Yeah, we don't have Texas in currently, but they're there.
But they will be. I think they'll be in there. And I think they'll be. I think they'll play themselves in. BYU is in.
Yep.
But the sad thing is, like the metrics thing is that, again, I judging off the question right now, if you had to say the tournament started today by the metric, I'm just not a big fan of all of the. It's not that I'm debating against the metric. I feel as though there needs to be a consistent, and I've said this a bunch, there needs to be a consistent formula that everyone knows so that when Selection Sunday comes around and they start talking about quad 1 wins and you start qualifying, and the reason I brought this up and everybody gets all crazy and gets to talking and at me with all types of foolishness, I'm telling you, college coaches don't know which route to go because they're like, hey, do I schedule bottom feeders and beat them by 30, or do I go out here and schedule and play a Power 6 conference, they struggle with that. And I'm not even talking about the best ones. That's their dilemma. Because now you look at these metrics, and some of these Big 12 teams didn't play anybody in non-conference schedules. But the measurements, like them, and then they get in. So that's what I'm saying when we argue that. And I don't feel like going all down that tangent with it. But right now, you're talking about ACC and Pac-12. Probably got what they have in it, like 5 teams combined right now. They got 5-6 teams combined.
It's around there.
Even
it's around there.
Lenardi had 3 ACC teams in. For sure in the Pac-12, he had probably Arizona, Colorado, maybe Oregon. Yeah. So that's probably 6. He's not going to have anybody more than that in right now. So judging off Lenardi's recently, he got. Say it again. He got 5 in.
Ooh, 5 combined. 5 combined. Right,
and the Big 12 got 5 teams nationally ranked.
And we'll see if that changes for the record on Fielding the 68 tomorrow. So watch that show, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. But, yeah, it's a really good question, Ali. I appreciate you bringing that up. And I want to give a shout-out to Rob Doster. This might be the first time in program history that I've given a shout-out to Rob Doster. But he had his 8 teams that can win the national championship. He had no Big 12 teams in there. I can sense this coming already. The Big 12 is going to be the league that gets like 9 teams in the tournament, but no teams in the Elite 8. And we're going to look up and see like 2 ACC teams in the Final Four again. We don't know what happened. We're going to fly through these final 3. These are all fun. Alex S. says, Greg, how confident are you in the Lions to make it to the Super Bowl? Oh, man, I'm sad I only have like 20 seconds on this. The Lions are infinitely more dangerous as an underdog than they are as a favorite. This is the first time they've been an underdog this season or in this postseason. I'm very, very excited for it. Respect to the Niners. That's the best team in the NFC. Won't be surprised if they win the game. But I'm ready to eat a kneecap, gentlemen. Honolulu Blue on Sunday. I'm ready for it, boys. Hey, George W. has a question. He says, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? RC, your answer.
Oh, my God.
Hey, tell George W. I want some of what he's smoking, man. Whatever that is. Peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter. That sounds like something supposed to be a joke, man. I want some of that.
It would be called nut cream. It would be called nut cream. I'm gonna move on. Fred P says, if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to play you? Jarrell, quickly, who you got?
Oh, that's a good one. Cuba Gooding Jr.
10 seconds, Jarrell, come on.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
No answer. It's the Field of 68 after dark.
Cat Williams.